This awesome light is the Olight Perun 2 headlamp. This awesome light is the Olight Perun 3 headlamp, and this is the one I'm going to be reviewing today. I'm reviewing my drink bottle, Coleman Camp Stove, Deeper Chert Plus, EcoFlow River, this Helinox Perun 2, Arcfeld UV, and the electric hand warmer. Now the Olight Perun 2 headlamp was the second product review that I ever done for Olight. The only gripe that I had with it in my video was when you need to push the button, you need two hands, because if you try and push it with one hand, it goes around. Now it's probably had this for 3 or 4 years now, and that's still the only gripe. That's awesome. I have stretched the head strap so much, I've got it stretched as far as it'll go, and it ends up sitting on the bridge of my glasses like that. But you can order a second headlamp from their website. But guess what? I don't have to, because they've sent me a new one to replace it and review. This is the Olight Perun 3. Where's my knife? I'll open it with my knife, also by Olight. This is the O-Knife Barato. Oh no, it's not. It's the O-Knife Freeze. Right, I'll just quickly cut a couple of slits in this plastic. Fold that up, and let's have a look inside. This is the upgrade to the Perun 2 that I just showed you. Right, I'm doing this all first hand now so that you can see how easy it is. No rehearsals. When you open the box, you get the little thank you message which Olight put in all their products. Thank you for being a part of the Olight family. Your support is why we do this. Enjoy. Olight team. Take the yellow flap off the top. There's the Olight right there. There's the torch right there. I'll take that out. I've just got to be a bit careful here. There's a bit of a breeze blowing. I've got my camera set up right behind my car to try and stop the breeze. I just don't want rubbish blowing around. Right, there's the Olight. It's quite heavy and quite robust. I'll take that out. It is a little bit different. The first thing I've noticed with the Perun 2, the power button is on the top. With this one, it's up there. So instead of pushing that way, I'll be able to push that way. Now let's go into the box. It probably won't come on yet. Usually there's a couple of little bits of yellow paper in there to stop the battery from draining in storage. Right, let's go in here. Put that back in there. I'm going to guess that this is the head strap. We have a charger. I can tell already that it's got magnetic charging, because that's what the Olight magnetic chargers look like. We have a head strap. We have some instructions which I'll have a look at in a minute. Right. I'll get the head strap comfortable. Where's my torch? Oh, right. Now, let's get this working. The first thing you'll see is that it's got a clip so that you can clip it to your shirt or your hat or anything like that. I generally take them off, especially if I'm going to leave it in there, but I keep them in case I want them for another reason. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that clip off. That's the clip there, and I'll just sit that over here. Now, how do I get in? One end will loosen, no doubt. That's the bottom end, the charger end. And in here, I reckon I'm going to find a bit of yellow paper. There it is right there. I'll pull that out. There might be one each end. This one's only got one end. We have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I've got a funny feeling the Olight 2 is only 4,000, but I could be wrong. Right. I'll have a look in a sec. I'm putting all this rubbish in my pocket. Now will it come on? Oh! It came on red. The Perun 2 doesn't have red. We've got bright red, low red, bright, SOS red. Somehow I've managed to get SOS in Morse code in red. How do I get it into white? What if I just hold it in? I never got white. So I got white. I think that's moon mode. Low, medium, high, then turbo. Right, so I turn it off. If I hold it in, it goes white. How do I get it into red? I've got to work out how to get it into red. I much prefer to film my product reviews like this rather than reading the instructions and practicing. I like to try and work it out, just so that you know how easy it is to do when it's your turn. Ah, there we go, red. I haven't actually worked out how to do it yet. All I've done is I've worked out how easy it is. If you fiddle around enough, you can change it, but I've got to work out the proper way to do it. Double click, bright red. Now I'll turn it off and I'll hold it in for a long press. Then we've got white. Double click turbo. Turn that off. Double click goes into red. Right. So when it's off, double click will make it red. Now I'll turn it off again. Long click makes it white. And then when you're in white, double click makes it turbo. They're all single button operation, these Olights. So you can turn it on with a single click. You can hold it in to cycle through low, medium, high. High, low, medium. Oops, what do I do then? Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Then while it's on, you can double click to go into turbo mode. And when it's off, if you long hold, it goes into low. Now if I turn that off, then double click from off, it goes into red. There you go. Got it. All sorted. I'm just going to quickly recap. From the off position, double click will go to red. And then while it's in red, double click will go bright red and low red. Let's turn it off. Single click off. Now I'll single click on, it'll go probably into white. There we go. Then I double click and it goes into turbo. So it's slightly different than the Perun 2, and that's because it's got the introduction of the red light, which isn't in the Perun 2. It's also brighter. This is 3000 lumens and the Perun 2 was only 2000 lumens. Now, let's put this on my head. It's actually got a different kind of a fitting as well. Do I push that in? I think I just squeeze it in. I just push it. There you are. It snaps into place. One of the things that I love most about the Perun 2 is that it's infinitely variable. Unlike my array, I love my array headlamp. That goes click, 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 click. It's got 4 or 5 settings. This can have, you can have any settings. So, where's the where's the button? I cut off. I got it is up the top. Right. So I can twist it right down low if I want to look down. If I have it that low, my guts will probably shadow my feet. Or I can go up to where I'm walking, or I can go right up and look in the trees for possums. I like that. That's one thing I do like about the Perun series. I keep looking for the button at the end, forgetting that it's on top. So structurally it's the same size and weight and everything, but it is quite different. Now, let's have a look at some of the tech specs. Right, now before I look at the tech specs, I just opened the that little bag and it's got the magnetic charger, so it's USB-A to the magnetic charger, which will just pop straight on the back. As easy as that. And it's got a lanyard if you like to have lanyards on things. And it's got this little tool there. It's like a weeny little tool with a little J on it. I don't know what that's for. I assume it's for helping you connect this little strap for your lanyard. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the tech specs in the book here. We'll go into the user manual. I'll take that off. Looks a bit silly. I'm only really after one thing here, and that's run times. Look at that. You see, this is all that along there. Tells you how many clicks and how to change it, and I worked it out in about 2 minutes flat without looking at all that. Right, here we go. Turbo mode, 3,000 lumens, which is a 500 lumen upgrade to the Perun 2 for 2 minutes. So if you put it in turbo, you'll get 2 minutes of full turbo, then you'll get 3 hours of the brightest non-turbo setting, and then you'll get 30 minutes once it throttles right back to 20%. If you put it in high, that gives you 600 lumens for 300 minutes, so 5 hours at high. And high, 600 lumens is a very bright floodlight, especially if it's going to run for 5 hours at that level. And then you get half an hour at 20% of 600 lumens, which is, I don't know, a little bit. Then you get medium, 120 lumens for 25 hours, low, 30 lumens for 89 hours, moonlight, 5 lumens for 20 days. The red light, high, is 60 lumens and that lasts 14 hours. Low is 15 lumens and that lasts for 70 hours. But let's just cut to the chase. Most of us are going to grab it, we're going to turn it on, then we're going to double click it into turbo, and that's how we're going to leave it. You're going to get 3,000 lumens for 2 minutes, and then it's going to sit on about 1,000 or 1,200 lumens for 3 hours. That's incredible. 1,000 lumens, I've got to calculate it exactly, but it's around about that. That's a very bright light. Well, there's nothing left to do now except wait for the sun to go down and then go for a walk in the dark. Now it's night time. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer and a couple of things. There is a flash sale coming out tonight. At the time of filming, I don't have a lot of information, but there will be links in the video description below. There'll be links to the Olight website and to the flash sale, and there will be discounts on quite a lot of Olight lights, including the one that I'm reviewing, this Perun 3. And they are affiliate links, which means that if you buy something, I get a kickback. That's the disclaimer. So don't forget to check out the links below. Now let's look at the torch. That's in low mode. I'm standing on a dirt road here, and that's in low. Let's go up to high, up to medium. Medium? You can see there's a dead tree there. And a live one on that side. Let's go to high. Low, medium and high. Look, there's my shadow because it's on my head. Maybe if I hold it down there it might be better. There's the shadow. Now let's go to turbo mode. Turbo mode's throwing out quite a lot of light. I'm going to take it off my head for a moment, just because that shadow in the video is annoying me and I'm holding it in my hand. So that's turbo mode. So we'll cycle back through. I've turned that off. So if I double click now, it'll come on to red. There's red. Red low. Red high. There is certainly a place for red. My Olight Array 2 headlamp has red, and there's a spot that I go fishing, and a few years ago I went there really early one morning and I didn't want the dogs at the nearby farmhouse to bark and wake people up. I'm allowed to fish there, I just didn't want people to be interrupted during their sleep. So I used the red light and the dogs didn't seem to notice it. So there's certainly a spot for red light. I think a lot of animals don't see red. But anyway, let's go back to white. So I've got to turn it off, then just turn it on once, single click. So you go off, double click for red, off, double click for white. That's right, single click for white, doofus. Then low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. There's high. You get that for 5 hours. You get that amount of light for 5 hours. That's pretty impressive. Or you can go into turbo mode. You get that for 2 minutes. And then you get a light that's lighter than bright for 3 hours. So you throttle down to somewhere between that and that for 3 hours, because that's high. But most of us are going to use it in turbo. So you get that for 2 minutes, and then you get 3 hours of a really bright light that's plenty bright enough for just about everything you'll want. That's not a hunting light. It's not. There's a paddock just there. It doesn't shine up. It doesn't like shoot a long beam and light up animals in the distance for shooting. That's not a hunting light. It's just a very handy light. It's a very good fishing light because you can turn it down really low, and also because you can use the red mode. Let's go for a walk and see if we can find some aminals. Check this out. I found a tawny frogmouth. See him up there? G'day, mate. You're pretty cool. Hey? You're pretty pretty awesome. How cool is that? A tawny frogmouth. It's not actually an owl, they're a nocturnal bird. But I don't think they're classed as an owl. There's a lot of them around here and they're awesome. I can see a possum right up there in the tree. I don't know whether you can see his eyes reflecting or not. It's a ringtail possum. Oh, he's just run along the branch. he took off down there. I don't know whether you got a glimpse of his eyes reflecting or not. Now, it's that time of the video where I give you the pros and cons, or tell you about the good and the bad parts. Actually, what I'll do, I'll take this off. I'll hold it out there like that. Actually, oh no, I'll stick it on the back of my car. Now, like a magnet. It's actually, that magnetic charger also serves as a magnet. I've actually got it stuck. You might hear it click. You listen. It's just bang, stuck on the back of my car. That's very handy, that magnet. Now, the good parts and the bad parts. Spoiler alert, there's really no bad parts. It's a very good product. The only bad thing I can find, and it is what it is a little bit heavy. It's quite bulky on your forehead, but that's the price you've got to pay if you want something really bright. The Olight Array Pro, I think it's called, or Array 2 Pro that I reviewed a couple of years ago, that's much lighter and much more comfortable, but it's not half as bright. If you want that brightness and you want it to last for such a long time, you need a big battery and a bigger unit to house it, so it's going to be heavier. That's something that's unchangeable. So you get a long running battery and a bright light, but the trade-off is it's going to be a little bit heavier. Other than that, there's really no negatives. When I reviewed the Perun 2, the only negative that I had was when I tried to push the button, I had to use both hands, otherwise I just kept pushing the torch around my head. But Olight have fixed that by putting the button on top instead of on the end. Thanks, Olight. That's a very good improvement. Now, the Perun 2 is 2,500 lumens. This new Perun 3 is 3,000 lumens. It's 500 lumens brighter. But I'm going to be honest, you're not going to notice those lumens a lot. If I got both of them out, the 2,500 and the 3,000, the Perun 2 and the Perun 3, you wouldn't notice very much difference. You'd only notice maybe a smidge of difference. That's not really a selling point. It's a handy upgrade. I think what is a much better upgrade is the inclusion of the red light. The red is a game changer because I've used it after dark. I believe that a lot of people that are shooting foxes at night time, I believe foxes can't see red. I'm not an expert in that field. When I used to shoot foxes years ago, I used to whistle them in during the daytime, or sometimes I shoot them under the spotlight. But I do believe that if you're using a red light, it's much, much harder for them to identify you. And I think that goes for a lot of animals. And I think that is why the dogs didn't bark when I went fishing near that farmhouse a couple of years ago that I mentioned earlier. So the red light is an awesome upgrade. The larger battery is also a good upgrade. Overall, I think this is a fantastic torch. There's not a lot of negative things to point out. I love it. Well, that's about it, folks. Actually, let's turn it up a bit. Hey! Bright line! Well, folks, don't forget to check out the video description below the video to find links to the flash sale, which starts tonight, where you'll find all the information about the brand new Olight Perun 3, including the discounted price during the flash sale and other great specials. Thank you all very much for watching.